My name is David Hungerford. I'm on the board of directors with California Youth Services. This is my wife, Miriam. 22 years ago, April 22nd, we received a phone call. It was from the police department to inform us that they had found our daughter, Shannon, dead in her apartment. You can imagine the pain that we experienced when we received that call. It's a pain that never really goes away. It just somehow you learn how to live with it. I raised Shannon as a single dad. She lived with me full time from the age of 7. We had a very close relationship. We would go out to dinners together. We would go to coffee shops and talk. We would go to the batting cages to play softball together. She started off dancing at a very young age. She was a Pop Warner football cheerleader. She played Bobby Sox softball. I actually coached her team for a couple of years. She tried out to be a cheerleader and made the team, which is a very competitive team. And I'm so grateful for those years that I had with her.
I came into her life when she was 12. Just about to turn 13, and even though I'm not Shannon's biological mother, she might as well be my daughter. We were very close. She confided in me, loved her siblings, or soon-to-be siblings. She had a very wonderful home life with us. One time, our son, Christopher, came to me, who was her best buddy. They were Mutt and Jeff. He came to me with a bag this big, a Ziploc bag, that I thought it was a bag of M&Ms. Different color, small candy, I thought. And he said, "No, Mom, these are pills." So I showed him to David. And even though we were looking at it, he had a hard time believing it.
The biggest difficulty some parents have, such as myself, is that you can be in a state of denial. You don't want to believe that your child has a problem, an addiction problem. And when I confronted Shannon with this bag of pills, she told me they were just vitamins and various medications that she had taken in the past, and I don't know why you would think that such terrible things about me. Made me feel guilty that I even didn't trust her. And so they can play on your emotions as well, because like Miriam says, you want to believe the best in them, but really you have to have a realistic approach. We received a phone call from Shannon's best friend, and she told us that Shannon was getting into drugs heavily and was hanging around people that were not in the best influence. So I decided to take it upon myself to fly over where she was going to school to Tucson, and when I confronted her, she immediately burst into tears and told me that those are just terrible stories people are making up about her. They're jealous of her, they want to hurt her, and as my father, how could you think those terrible things of her? And started sobbing, and I started crying too, and told her that I believe you, I love you, and everything's going to be fine. Even as close a relationship that I had with Shannon, when they get to a certain point, your kids will lie to you. And that wasn't Shannon talking to me, those were the drugs talking to me.
As a parent, you know your child, and you have an inner voice that is never wrong. Trust that inner voice. If you think your child is in trouble, your child is in trouble. Do not give in to the lies. It's very easy because you don't want to believe. Trust your instincts.
Well, after our daughter's death, we sought out a means to channel our grief, and we decided that we wanted to create a foundation in her name that assist young adults, teenagers, and their parents with drug abuse and alcohol issues. I went to a JADE class, a juvenile alcohol and drug education, and I was so impressed we decided that we wanted to throw our support behind that organization. And then decided that we would merge the two organizations, the foundation that we established with Shannon's name and Jade, and with the help of Flo and Gil Mulhare, who tragically had lost their son Kevin the year before, and ironically was a close friend of Shannon's. We established California Youth Services. I remember early on when I was speaking at the Jade meetings, multiple times, I had parents follow me out to the car and say, "Thank you so much for giving or sharing your story about your daughter. You know, my wife and I had a hard time believing that this is what's going on with our son or our daughter, and now you've really opened up our eyes. And so we're so grateful for that." And then they would hug me and they had tears in their eyes. And so I know we have had a positive impact on a number of parents, and we've saved a number of lives because we've seen it firsthand. Shannon's time on this earth was brief, but had meaning and purpose. And we wanted to leave a lasting legacy. California Youth Services is that legacy. Over the last 20 years, we've touched thousands of lives and helped them and their parents through difficult times. Your financial support will help California Youth Services continue to work on saving young lives. And thank you so much for your support, and God bless you.